Hi, I'm Clem Ogilby, principal at the Ogilby Group here in Portland, Oregon. There's an awful lot to be learned from our built environment. I've taken that direction one step further by looking at the bigger picture of sustainability. And here in the Pacific Northwest, we are so fortunate to have such a plethora of natural beauty, as well as the built environment. Historic preservation is very much an integral part of sustainability. It is in and of itself sustainable development. And furthermore, development that does not have a historical preservation component in it, in our opinion, really is not sustainable. The built environment is essentially a history book for us. There is so much that we need to be respectful of in terms of the vision and the craftsmanship that went into our built environment. And we are advocates not necessarily just for historic buildings, but really any buildings that can be repurposed and reused into perpetuity. And that is a word that is somewhat foreign in these parts. And as a New Englander, having grown up in a revolutionary period structure, and with forebears who were accomplices of Paul Revere, I seem to have inherited some of this passion for learning from our forebears and not taking for granted what's been handed down to us. This is not a black and white situation, and there are enormous pressures being exerted, and not just here in Portland, Oregon, but throughout the nation. In a perfect world, we would love to see just a smattering of demolitions taking place in this country. To be sure, there are lots of buildings that there are always going to be buildings that cannot necessarily be repurposed to meet modern day needs, but that, in our opinion, is really the exception as opposed to the rule. It wasn't much longer than 2 or 3 years ago. At one point, the city of Portland had over 50 applications for demolition at one point in the city, and so the downturn in the economy and the recession has been a very fortunate. There is an upside to this, and there are similar examples throughout the country. Charleston, South Carolina has one of the most superbly intact historic districts, and it took a lot of years to recover from the Civil War. So there is an upside to less than robust economic times, because it gives us all an opportunity to really think about what we're doing. So in conclusion, we're about leaving this place better than we found it. And we certainly can't expect to save them all, but we certainly recognize a very great need to repurpose our buildings and to come up with innovative and creative reuse strategies.